morning appointment with the embassy. However, he was unfortunately held up and cannot make it to Congress on time. He sends his sincere apologies, and he asked me to deliver this statement on his behalf. Mr. Chairman.
Please preside.
NGCP is a Filipino corporation, and we run the company as Filipinos. We bought the transmission business from the government in 2007 in an open public bidding at the cost of almost $4 billion. We did this in good faith and in accordance with the PIRA law passed by Congress. This was not a negotiated bid, but was a solicited contract subjected to public bidding. We followed the law, we followed the contract you gave us to sign, we followed the regulator. As the operator of the transmission system of the country, we are a partner of the government in the energy sector. We have undertaken to pay PISAM $3.95 billion as concession fee. We have also invested so much into improving the system, almost 400 billion pesos as of the end of 2024. We have increased the capacity of the transmission system to transmit power 865 times compared to Transco. We have taken up the government's directive to loop the entire country with the completion of the Mindanao-Visayas interconnection project. We have also finished the Cebu-Negros-Panay interconnection, the Cebu-Bohol interconnection, and the Hermosa-San Jose backbone. We are not in breach of our franchise, our concession agreement, and the Philippine Grid Code. The price the consumer pays for the transmission services have gone down significantly since Transco ran it in 2008. Our portion of the bill is only 3%, but we find the other 97% has not been subjected to the same scrutiny. On our projects and alleged delays, if there's any delay, there can be directly attributed to the delays in right-of-way procurement, the long permitting process, and most significantly, ERC's delay. We have more than 100 projects pending approval with the ERC, and these projects have waited for approval for almost 4 years on the average. The last regulatory reset conducted was for the period of 2011 and to 2015. Since then, we have not been given a revenue scheme that reflects the development needs of the transmission system. Despite no clear revenue stream and uncertain recovery, we continued to invest into the grid. We continued to build, and we continued to serve our country. Even now, we are locked in discussions with the ERC, who chooses to penalize us for every little delay, and refuse to acknowledge their part in the regulatory mess the energy industry finds itself in. We follow the rules you set, the contracts you drafted, and the franchise you passed into law. We have done our job. We have bent over backwards to pursue our mandate and hold our end of the concession agreement. Our SCADA system is a secure, standalone, isolated system that is not connected to any other network. It is not connected to the internet, and it cannot be remotely hacked. It is NGCP alone, through its Filipino directors and personnel, and not the Chinese, which has the control over the system operations. The Chinese do not have control over the grid. There is no proverbial single red button that can instantly turn off the grid. There are protocols that actually prevent this. NGCP's procurement of goods and services included the updated SCADA system from NARI is through a competitive selection process as required by the ERC. The State Grid Corporation of China does not exercise control over the power grid nor over NGCP. Domestic corporations Monte Oro Grid Resources Corporation and Kalakahay Power Corporation each hold 30%, or a total of 60% of the outstanding capital stock of NGCP, whereas SGCC only holds a minority share of 40%. SGCC's shareholding in NGCP is consistent with the Constitution. Moreover, during the bidding of the concession agreement, the government required the participation of financially and technically capable participants. Since the operation of the transmission business has always been monopolized by the state, only foreign participants possess the relevant with domestic and international experience and expertise to operate transmission system comparable to the Philippine transmission grid. As to why we choose to partner with LGCC, I direct this question to the former owner. He bought into the Chinese. When I bought the shares in 2010, the Chinese were already there. Similarly, the shareholders' agreement that has been the topic of so much speculation was already there when we stepped into the former owner's shoes. But I do not wish to throw stones. I also want solutions. Speaking as a businessman, we need stability, not just in the energy supply, but also in law, policy, and regulation. I strongly urge the DOE to look into the problem as a whole. The data is clear: 97% of the power interruptions from 2016 to 2013 was caused by problems in supply. We need stable, affordable baseload power. We need comprehensive aligned plan and considers the need to all sectors. We are willing to be part of the solution, but transmission should not be the solution for everyone's problems. For DOE, ERC, and Transco, NGCP, and IMAP, we should work together hand in hand to have a better energy plan. God bless us all. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Anthony Almeida. That was the statement of Mr. C.
Yes,
Junior.
Mr. Chairman. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Thank you very much. I will be asking you the first question, but before that, I'd like to acknowledge some members who have arrived. The Deputy Majority Leader, the Honorable Franz Pumaren of the 3rd District of Quezon City, the Honorable Bong Teves Jr. of DGP Party List, and of course, the hardworking Stella Luz Kimbo of the 2nd District of Marikina City. Welcome to the committee hearing. The chairperson of ERC is here also. May please raise your hand. The chairperson, the Honorable Dimolanta. Yes, ma'am. Welcome to this hearing. Na-late kayo. Yung isang hearing, hindi kayo na-late. Ngayon, na-late kayo. Mukhang may meeting pa. Anyway, thank you very much, Mr. Almeida, for appearing before this committee. And thank you for your manifestation and the manifestation of Mr. C, that indeed you're here to solve problems. You're here to help solve these problems. And of course, a lot of questions will be asked later because of the presentation made. But I just would like to ask one question. Regardless of the percentage, because you claim it's 3%, in last week's hearing, some members have said it was 10%, the effective because of the delay of transmission. Kasi alam po ninyo, ang GENCO, marami. Ang DU, marami. Pero ang grid, ang highway, iisa, kayo lang po yan. Kaya ang focus sa inyo eh. Kasi kayo ho yung nag-iisa ron eh. Okay? At ang sinasabi nila, and I will have to, and I'm sure the Honorable President De Jesus will admit in the previous hearings of all the DUs na nagre-request ho ng mga franchise renewal, ang lagi ho nilang tinuturo, NGCP. Kaya daw, because of the delay, it's not only 2%. Mas mataas ang effective rate na maapektuhan ang presyo ng kuryente. Now, pwede po ba ako magtanong? Isang tanong lang, Mr. Almeida. Andito man po kayo para magbigay ng solusyon. Paano ho natin mabababa ang kuryente sa ating bansa?
Maybe all the energy family has to work together to put the prices down. Kasi for 3%, we have to talk also to the 97%, Mr. Chairman. So 100% of the whole energy family should discuss and talk. Kami naman on the 3% as the highway will be here. Mr. Chairman, the most important thing here is maybe we can do energy planning as a whole, from transmission, generation, and distribution. on where to put our plants